All right. This is probably one of the biggest mistakes women are making when dating. They're mistaking this for that. We're going to talk about what this and that is, but before we do,
And with Terence and Jill of God-Ordained Union, we're here to do one thing and one thing only, and that is to help increase God-Ordained unions.
yes. So if you are single and you're praying for marriage, you are longing for your person, you've been probably kicking and screaming and crying and wondering what's going on with you, feeling like something's wrong with you, feeling like you're getting older and older, even possibly feeling like it's not going to happen. We understand that was my story. I don't want to say that you was kicking and screaming, but I was almost 50, never had any children, never had an engagement, never was married. And I think everybody counted me out. And to some degree, in the natural, I probably counted myself out, but spiritually, I felt that I was supposed to be married. And so I did not, I focused more on the spirit and what I believe God was telling me. And so at 48, I came across Terrence's profile. He had an outdated profile on a dating site. And so as God would have it, he couldn't do anything. He was no longer paying for that subscription, and the company was still running his profile. Matter of fact, they were running two of his profiles. He had two accounts. And so they were running both of the profiles. And I came across it thinking that it was active. And as God would have it, what was intended to be a dead situation, God put life to it. And so God can do anything. And so on this channel, we encourage singles not to give up. We did not give up. And we just believe that God can do anything. And then when it comes to matters of the heart, and when it comes to love, God has your person for you. We believe that God has your God-ordained person intended uniquely for you. This is the thing. The enemy is trying to block it. And unfortunately, the enemy can be external or internal. It can be things you're thinking, things you're holding on to, unforgiveness. It could be generational patterns, how you are operating, how you are hiding yourself, whether you are physically, visibly, or even mentally, whether you're physically visible, but you could be mentally and emotionally hiding. All of that plays out and people can't see you. And so on this channel, we help to expose the enemy, try to help you see some of the trick schemes and plans that the enemy is having. Because at the end of the day, he really doesn't care if you get married. He just doesn't want you to get married to your person. He doesn't want you to get married to your person, because your person, you two have an assignment attached to it. So on this channel, we expose the enemy and we help to show you some of the things that could be blocking you as they were blocking us. So we were 52. I was 52 when we got married.
I was 54.
Yep. And so, yeah. So make sure you subscribe, turn your notifications when you to find out when we go live, when we drop pre-recorded videos, all that good stuff. If you want our ebook, all that, you can go down to the descriptions. If you want to contact us, if you want to reach out to us, we can't read all the email, but if you want to try to contact us, you can do so by going to our website, godordainedunion.com, www.godordainedunion.com. And on that website, you can use the contact form. You'll also see when our prayer call is, when our private group meets, our one-on-ones, all of that good stuff. Also, follow us on IG. Follow us on Instagram, because that's where our day-to-day is. And if you want to learn more about us outside of just dropping, we're not experts. We ain't trying to be claiming as no relationship experts or no relationship therapists. That's not what we're doing. We're just giving our testimony. The Word of God says they overcame by the blood of the Lamb and the word of their testimony. So we're just sharing our testimony and some of the wisdom that God has given us, because we like to believe that we have made it through the dating season. Almost to 50 years old, we've been on some dates. So,
Yeah.
All right. All right. So there was an email that came through, and it really grabbed our attention. It grabbed our heart. And so it's not an unfamiliar situation. And so we're not going to tell you the particulars about what was in the email, but we want to give you a general overview of what this email was about, because it is, as we said, it is familiar. A lot of women are going through this. So basically, this young lady, she met this guy, and the guy, off the bat, they hit it off. And I think she said like the first week, like they went on 4 dates the first week, and talking all the time. They were getting to know each other, talking all the time. She felt like they found some commonality and some compatibility, some things that they were compatible with, and he was whining and dining her, and they were talking frequently on the phone. That were seeing each other frequently, and then he pulled back. And so because of it, she wrote the email to us, and she's distraught. She's emotionally spent, and she's hurt, and because she does not know what happened and why it happened. So we're going to talk about it. So before this one give you a man's point of view, what is one of the biggest dating mistakes women are making?
Okay.
Yeah, let me stop there.
One of the biggest mistakes women are making in dating is they're mistaking attention for intention.
Ooh.
I'm going to say that again. They're mistaking attention for intention. What I mean, look, attention is really the first cousin of attraction. They're like Siamese twins. You can't get one without the other. So when a person is attracted to you, they have to give you attention if they want to get to know you.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to understand that at that point, though, you're at the very beginning.
Mm-hmm.
So the intentions haven't been made yet. You don't even know if there's a connection. All you know is I have an attraction to someone, and I need to ask her out to see if there's a connection. So the attention is linked to the attraction. There's no way I can get around it. And if I want to figure out if I'm going to have intentions to build something later, we have to have some type of interaction, something. So I have to give you attention. And so you're mistaking the fact that he asked you out, especially, oh my goodness, it brings me back to something you said in a couple of videos ago, but especially when you go out on multiple dates, especially if you go out on multiple dates really quickly, like back to back to back, you start to think, oh my goodness, he is really into me because we done went out on X amount of dates and X amount of time, and you start to read into it, but you can't take away that there's still a process of going from attraction to intention. And in this case, the attention, you can't mistake that for intention until he make it known what his intent is, because we've done a video on that too. But I say that to say that's what the mistake is. You're thinking because you get an attention that he already has intent. long-term intent, but it hadn't been established yet.
So he's just giving you attention. So why do men pull away?
Well, first of all, I think we also have to understand if he went all in. If he said, I'm giving this woman attention, but I'm putting my best foot forward, I'm going to make sure I do everything to show her that I could possibly be the one for her and give us the best chance. So he could possibly be going all in. You said, a person, if you're going out on multiple dates, depending on how close they are, like I said, you can read into it and think, oh my goodness, this person is into me. But again, he can be saying, I want to make sure I give her everything I have to give us a possible chance of being together. So he's giving you the 100%. He's all in. Okay. He's not taking you to places that you think, okay, he just wasted my time. No, he's taking you to some places to giving you some quality time together.
He's trying to figure it out.
Yeah, he's trying to really put y'all in a situation for him to be able to make a decision. He wants to see, is there a connection? Are we feeling each other? Are we seriously having some nice conversations? Are we talking about some stuff that has some meat and potatoes to it? Are we having some things in common? Our values? He's trying to set the mood, the atmosphere for y'all to really learn something about each other. And to be honest, he's probably very intentional, although he hadn't got the intentions yet, but he's probably very intentional about him getting to know you.
So I guess that's where the confusion is. So he's intentional to getting to know you. He's not intentional about marrying you or to establishing a relationship with you. The intention is for the intent to get to know you.
His whole intention is to get to know you. So he's serious about getting to know you. He's not serious about marrying you yet because he ain't got to that point in his process.
Okay.
So what happens when you get this onslaught of attention and you get all of this stuff, the wine and the dine and the great conversation, all this stuff, and then he backs off? What's going on? Well, look, I can tell you, I'm going to give you 5 possibilities, okay, of what could possibly make him pump the brakes a little bit, okay? And again, these are all possibilities. I don't know which one it is. I don't know if it's any of them. But I'm going to do my best to stay away from the things that we hear a lot, like he's not able to commit. We're going to stay away from stuff like that. Things that we're going to go into some things that you may not have thought about. Okay. So my first one would be in his getting to know you. Okay. And I don't know how much time has passed, but in his getting to know you, he's learned something about you that could possibly be a red flag or raise some type of concern about what he's learned about. So now he's like, okay, well, let me slow up. What is this I just learned? Now, did he learn it from you? Did he learn it from watching you? Did he learn it from speaking to you? Did he learn it from somebody, if y'all live in the same vicinity, did somebody that know both of you share some information? We don't know, but he's learned something that's new that he didn't know before. And it's giving him reason to pause and say, hold up, let me consider this. Let me, investigate a little bit. Let me process this. So he's having some reservations, while he's processing this new information.
Yeah. And like a red flag that can be quote unquote, because I think women automatically take that to mean something he didn't like about their appearance or character. It could be something as simple as, when you first met each other, you shared that you have children, whether grown or small children. And when he got to know you over the weeks, over the months, he realized that at this stage in his life, he does not want to be want to be committed to raising you children. Or it could also be, if you have grown children, it could be he have heard the relationship you have with your children, and you're so tied to your grown children that it's clear that they come first before everything. And I'm not trying to make a competition with, but he may feel that you have no room for him.
Right. That's what I was just thinking.
There's no room for him to be in it. So it could be things that because with this, the question comes, well, why doesn't he talk to me about it? Some things they back away when they see a red flag, because some things he knows he has no winning chance with it. Like, he's not going to compete with your children. So it's best for him to take the L.
Right.
Because he's not going to, your 14-year-old son, he's got that child ain't going nowhere. So he has to make a decision. Do I want to, still raise a child again? My kids are grown. Do I want to be a step parent where a child is in the home? I want a relationship where now it's, we're empty nesters. So it could be things that he's backing off because there's no winning chance of him. So yeah.
Right. So that was number one. Number two, there's a point, and we've heard this a lot, where after dating several times, going out on several dates, a guy pulls back. And one of the reasons may be is that you've taken his pursuit away because you're starting to pursue him. If you're getting emotional, if you're starting to say, he could be the one for me, and now you're gravitating to calling him a lot, you're texting a lot, you're not giving him an opportunity to actually miss you when y'all aren't together, especially if y'all done been out on several dates. So, a guy needs to miss you. He needs to say to himself, hey, man, I ain't seen my girl in a minute. Let me give her a call. Let me go over there. Let me take her out this weekend. He needs to say them things to himself so he knows he has to do something. But if you're calling him constantly, if you're texting him constantly, then in his mind, he's thinking, it's almost like a text or a phone call. It's like y'all still together. So he's saying, I ain't even had any time apart from her because she's blowing my phone up. So he don't see the desire to call you, to want to take you out, because he hasn't had time away from you that caused him to miss you so he can continue his pursuit. So you have to watch. Are you pursuing him? Are you blowing his phone up? Are you not giving him a chance to take a deep breath without you being there? So
pushing him away.
Yeah, you're pushing him away because you're smothering him. That's the word. You're smothering him.
Which removes the attraction. Now he's no longer attracted.
Yes. Because that's huge for a guy.
Yeah.
He's thinking, man, I would really love to get to know this woman.
She's cute and all, but...
Yeah. But then when he gets with you, you're smothering him. Now he's thinking, whoa.
She crazy.
Yeah. That was number two. Number three is he could have learned that he's got feelings for you. And right now, he actually took some time to slow down, to say, pump the brakes. Let me figure out how I want to proceed. Do I want to show her that I really care about her as much as I do? Or do I want to take my time and be subtle and just take this slow? So right now, he could be processing his own feelings.
I was going to fall this fast.
Decide how he wants to proceed. Okay? And again, we don't know, but this is a possibility.
Yeah.
Okay? He's trying to process some things that he's starting to feel about you. Okay? So that was number three. Number four. He could have met somebody else. Not saying that he did, but it is a very good possibility that he's met somebody else. And right now, especially if he's been on several dates with you, he's saying, wait a minute, before I commit, before I figure out what I'm going to do, I met this over here. Let me take her out. Let me see, and that's what he's doing. He's getting to know someone else.
He's putting his attention somewhere else now. Not he didn't cut you off. He's pulled back. He'll still answer your text, respond to your text or your phone call, but he'll say something like, I don't know what he'll say. I'm busy. No, I'm still here. Things are good with us. But he now considering two of you. He now got you in rotation.
And that right there, I can't sugarcoat that one. That ain't a good thing. Ain't nothing like being in rotation. That's bad. Never. But that's a possibility. Okay. And then we got number 5. And I've said this probably as long as we've had this platform. And that is, you got life. He's living. He's taking care of his responsibilities. He's doing things that he has to do to keep up his lifestyle. Okay. So he's not out doing anything bad. He's just saying, look, I've been whining and dining her, and I've been putting things on hold or putting things on the back burner, and I need to get back to my responsibilities and take care of some things to make sure I'm keeping myself in order and doing the things I need to do. And that's what he's doing.
Wow. So I think what happens, like with women, this is a thing that happens. I always say, well, let's go back to the first point you made as far as going all in, because we always talk about this, that you go all in, and we usually use a house as an example. You're going to buy a house. You're purchasing a house. And so when you're going to buy a house, which is a big decision, you're not going to just look in the window and spend $500,000 on a house.
Right.
You're going to come into the house. You're going to go all through the house, room by room. You're going to look at the appliances. You're going to look at the systems, the water heater. You're going to go out in the back. You're going to go through the garage. You're going to go all in. But what we don't do when we're buying a house, and we might even look at the house and consider where our furniture will fit. If the bedroom set I have, imagining if the bedroom set I have, will fit in here or in the guest room. Do we need to buy some more furniture?
Right.
You're considering all of this.
You're even looking out the window to see the views you got in every room, every window. You're looking to see what you can see.
Right. You're going all in. You're going all in. But what we're not doing when we buy a house is we're not becoming emotionally attached to it.
Right. Oh, that's good.
You ain't been approved for the loan. The seller has not accepted your offer. None of that. We're not becoming emotionally attached. And this is the thing, because we both held real estate licenses. And I like to think that I used to be a beast selling real estate. And Maryland, DC, and Virginia licensed. But this is the thing: when we're showing a house, when I was the realtor for the seller of the house, and I would do an open house, and if I would get an offer for my client, I would definitely look at the emotions of the potential buyer, because I would know if he or she, usually it was the she, is emotionally attached. Oh my God, this is the perfect room for my son, and this is the perfect school. They put everything out there. What does this do? This gives my client the upper hand, especially when it's a seller's market. It gives my client the upper hand. And so what happens is that the women go in, they go all in, because you got to be a little vulnerable, because you got to consider, you want the person to see all of you, but they go all in. But what they do is they become attached to the thing instead of the person. They get attached to what I call it, they fall in love with the candy without getting to know the candy man. They fall in love with the gifts without getting to know the giver. And so they become attached. And so when it's taken away, they are emotionally destroyed. I remember we would have to decline offers. We would decline offers. I mean, I would get phone calls. Oh my God, why would you do this? You know, we had already ordered this and we already, ma'am, why would you get attached like that? You don't know how the home buying process works. And so men are very good with going all in, good men, going all in with the intent to get to know you, not with the intent to marry you. And I hated that, and I know it's a strong word, but I hated that a lot of women, we determine a man's character off of attention and consistency. We determined they're a good person because they showed me attention and they were consistent about it. He calls every day. He texts every day. He does this every single day. I don't have to worry about this. He texts us every day. And while that is a good thing, that is not the determining factor of his character. Because at the end of the day, that's the playbook for a lot of counterfeits.
And it's also not saying he's already made a determination whether or not he see you as his future spouse or someone that he wants to build something with. He's just still getting to know you. So you have to be careful getting emotional before you actually gave yourself enough data on a person to be able to make a sound decision without involving your emotions.
Right. So emotional intelligence is where a lot of women lack. They lack the emotional intelligence because at the end of the day, while his intent is to get to know you, when he's whining and dying, you need to be getting to know him too. That is your assignment as well. But again, we fall for the gifts. And the gifts, when I'm saying the gifts, it's the wine and the dine. It's the quality time. It's the, the sweet nothings that he's saying to you, and all these things that a bit more confirmed a future with you. And it's not just him who determines a future. You have a say in it as well. Exactly. But you are giving him all the power. You're giving him all of the power, in which good men are looking for a partnership. And so when they feel like, I think it was one of your, I think it was number 2, when they feel like, she's smothering me, like she's like, what the heck? She's emotionally, she don't even know me. It becomes, overbearing. And so, so we hear that a lot. But this, as I said, that email really touched us because it clearly said, listen, girl, while he was getting to know you and pouring it all in, you should have been catching it and getting to know him. Because clearly you missed red flags too. Clearly it was something that you're missing, that you missed. And so, and I ain't gonna
you need to be seriously watching what he's doing, what he's saying, how he's doing it, how he's saying it, what he's doing while y'all together. It's so much that you need to pay attention to, because again, you're trying to get to know him enough to make a sound decision on whether you want to build with him.
Right.
Not be impressed by where he took you or how often he took you out. You need to understand. Yeah, there's a whole nother determination of what quality of attention you're getting. Is this consistent when it comes to he's the same? Everything he's done is matched everything that he said, and vice versa. And he's not wavering. And you need to know that and look at it seriously, not be impressed by how he's taking you out, several times, in a short period of time. You can't be impressed by that. Right now, you're actually auditioning and he's auditioning, and you need to be interviewing him, so to speak, to say, let me make sure,
it's the right fit for both of us. This is like going on a job interview. Yeah, you interviewing me, but I'm interviewing y'all too. Why did the last person leave?
Yeah.
Why did the last person leave? How long were they here? Like, this might not be a good fit for me either.
Yeah.
Like, so you got to really, and the sad thing about that email, without, because it's not our intent to, because although we replied, there was so much more the time wouldn't permit. What she was sharing was that there was some things that the guy was saying to her and doing to her, and I'm like, you miss all them red flags. She missed all them red flags. Like, what the heck? And you pressed for him? Because she fell for the attention.
Mm-hmm.
She fell for the attention.
And look, here's a secret for you, okay? And now that I'm thinking about saying this out loud, I don't think I've ever said this before in the 5 years we've been on this channel. Even if you find yourself getting emotional, pump the brakes and say, now let me consider everything I've learned up to now and make a decision before I go into my emotions.
Which is the number 4 that he did, that you said that, his feelings are now getting involved. Now he wants to process. That's how you should be operating.
You should do that. Once you feel yourself going towards the emotion, you can pump the brakes and say, well, let me make a decision without my feelings being involved so I can make a sound decision at this point with the information that I've learned before I get emotional.
Right.
That way, at least you give yourself a chance to do things with your best intentions, in mind.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Emotional
and that might be hard, easier said than done. So
yeah, it is. If we can get over if women can get over because what happens, I think, is that when you're not getting attention, and then you get it, it's new.
Yeah.
We spent so much time getting to know each other on the phone. The attention and the priority to see me more came like a year later. Like, it definitely was a process. We were not emotionally.
It took the sting off, because by the time I saw you for the first time
in person, we had already talked about so much stuff. Got to know each other.
That although it was the first time me seeing you, it wasn't the first time us conversating. Yeah. It wasn't the first time like being in your presence, although it was the first time being in your physical presence, but it wasn't the first time that we had shared, space to talk. And so it was like, I've known you for so long.
Yeah. And I think that I didn't get emotionally attached. When my feelings started getting emotionally attached, it's probably about 6 weeks after we saw each other and we went to the beach. We went on a beach trip and we left early in the middle of the morning to drive to the beach. And we were listening to Fred Hammond, going to the beach. We was listening to gospel music. And I was like, I had my sexy bathing suit. And I was like, this is beautiful. I'm feeling this. Yeah. I'm really, really feeling this.
Yeah, we got down there early enough to see the sunrise at the beach.
We got down there early enough to see the sunrise, and my emotions was like, but again, let me put some perspective. We had already been talking on the phone a year prior. So we put in some quality.
We put in some love equity.
We put some what they say, love equity. We put that in.
We put that in before seeing each other for the first time.
Yeah.
So we had already put some time in to get to know each other. It was just now whether or not the physical attraction, the if we had anything in common, where the attraction was, where the connection was. It was like, we get to see this now and not even worry about getting to know each other from that standpoint, because we had already done that.
Yeah, we didn't attach our emotions to the attraction.
Yeah.
We didn't do that. We didn't attach our emotions.
And again, that's probably easier said than done, but it's something you're going to have to practice. Because remember,
emotional intelligence.
This decision that you're making is like the second biggest decision you're going to ever make in your life.
Yeah, behind salvation.
Behind salvation, who you're going to spend the rest of your life with is the second largest decision that you're going to make. The third is buying a house.
The third is buying a house.
So you got to put the time in. You have to put your focus on getting the right information before making that decision.
Before investing your feelings. Yeah. And again, using the house as an example, before investing your money, before investing, you got to consider everything. Yeah. You don't just want to haphazardly make a purchase because you peeked at the house from the outside. You want to go all in. You want to consider everything, and you want to be in control of negotiating the price.
Yeah,
because it's a price to pay for a relationship. And so if you're going to pay the price, make sure you got the money to do so.
Yeah.
Make sure if somebody deplete you, then you sending us email. What should I do?
Not only that, now you're starting over, but you're starting over from a lesser point or position than you were before you went into that previous.
Which is the tricks and schemes of the enemy. It's one of those internal blocks.
Which makes you feel like you don't qualify to get the standard that you had set for yourself.
He didn't choose me.
Then you lower your standards.
So now you got a soul tie, or I'm not going to even say so much of a soul tie. Now you have a block, even if it's just a mental block. It's fear. Now you got fear. Now you hesitant, and So, So we hope this helps.
Yes, we hope this helped. There's 5 possibilities that could be in play right now. And again, we don't know which one, but prayerfully, this is going to send you back to the Word.
Yes.
Seek God's Word on what it says about your situation. And we look so forward to seeing you guys in our next video.
Yes.
Peace.